race relations have improved dramatically in my lifetime. Those who deny it are dishonoring the struggles that helped us achieve that progress. But we know But America, we know that bias remains. We know it. Whether you are black or white or Hispanic or Asian or Native American or of Middle Eastern descent, we have all seen this bigotry in our own lives at some point. We've heard it at times in our own homes. If we're honest, perhaps we've heard prejudice in our own heads and felt it in our own hearts. We know that. And while some suffer far more under racism's burden, some feel to a far greater extent discrimination's sting. Although most of us do our best to guard against it and teach our children better, none of us is entirely innocent. No institution is entirely immune. And that includes our police departments. We know this. And so when African Americans from all walks of life, from different communities across the country, voice a growing despair over what they perceive to be unequal treatment, when study after study shows that whites and people of color experience the criminal justice system differently, so that if you're black, you're more likely to be pulled over or searched or arrested, more likely to get longer sentences, more likely to get the death penalty for the same crime. When mothers and fathers raise their kids right and have the talk about how to respond if stopped by a police officer, yes, sir, no, sir, but still fear that something terrible may happen when their child walks out the door, still fear that kids being stupid and not quite doing things right might end in tragedy. When all this takes place more than 50 years after the passage of the Civil Rights Act, we cannot simply turn away and dismiss those in peaceful protest as troublemakers or paranoid.
Talking about politics coming from the view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? You know, we're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood, we the hood view, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas is representing. He's sitting on the Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter.
3, 4, 5. We live. Welcome to Hoodview Politics. We go in a deep, detailed dive into politics from the hood view. I'm Rad B.I.D. Jones.
And I am Tony, the #1 soul brother.
Yeah, now.
You know.
Don't forget, anybody disagree with anything we discuss here? At any moment, at any time, you free to come up here and discuss your problems. You know what I'm saying? That
door is open.
You know, anybody don't know, you needed to vote today. Today was the day you need to vote. Now, like I've been telling everybody, people don't take the midterms serious as they take the presidential, like the presidential joint, right?
Right.
Where that's a bad thought process for us black culture. You know what I'm saying? That
Right on.
So now, so everybody know now the midterms is on full display. Everybody done voted or getting in their vote as we speak or whatever's happening now. And the Congress in America is tight. You know what I'm saying? Now we talking about the Senate, it's even tighter.
Tight?
Now we talking about 50-50. You know what I'm saying? When
Don't
that,
get no tighter than
when the
that.
black lady slides down, what's that motherfucking butter? You know what I'm saying? That
You know
that
what I'm
cocoa
saying?
butter,
You know what I'm saying?
and say, nah, baby. That's fast. You know what I'm saying? That? That's where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? That? In America. A black lady controls where we go. I like it. I love it. I don't know where else to go with that. You know what I'm saying? That?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Now, there's a few things we'll get into today, man. We got a lot of things going on, especially with Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of things going on. Trump talking about running again. You know what I'm saying, dog? So we got a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
We don't know Biden gonna run again. I don't know if he announced that yet.
Nah,
He haven't announced yet. See what I'm saying? So we got issues.
he got time.
And this is Hoodviewpolitics. You know what I'm saying, dog? Now, I know everybody's looking at the news now and seeing things closing up. You know what I'm saying? Polls closing up over here. You know.
And if you're in line, stay in line. If people's in line, stay in line and cast that vote. Make your vote count. You feel me?
Goddamn shout. You know what I'm saying? Especially you got black. Now, especially as a black man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot going on in the black culture. You know what I'm saying, dog? Especially with Kanye West going through his diatribe, whatever the fuck he was doing. You know what I'm saying, dog?
He just 10 carat dog.
Then you got my man Kyrie Irving out this joint dangling. You know what I'm saying, dog? So we got a lot of things going on here. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Yeah.
So how you feel about the elections overall? You know?
Well, first of all, we're gonna send out congratulations to Wes Moore, who was elected governor of Maryland tonight, and he made history because he's the first black governor in this state. So we're gonna send out a nice shout out from the brother there. Hoodviewpolitics. Congratulations to
That's what's
Wes
up.
Moore on making history tonight.
Now, that been confirmed?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Is that allegedly?
Ain't no allegedly. That's definitely.
That's definitely.
He smoked Hancock says. You know, I'm keeping up with this. You know what I'm saying?
So main man ain't run again? Hogan?
Nah, his terms was up. He had 2 terms.
Oh, so he running for president for sure.
Oh yeah, I told you he was.
Definitely running for president. So you mean to tell me Hogan is out and the black man is in?
Yeah, we got a black man running the state.
That's what I'm talking about. I ain't even know that, bro. That's what's up. That's what I needed.
Oh, yeah.
Hogan was a Republican. I kept trying to tell everybody. In the end, he's a Republican.
And we sending a 25-year-old to Congress.
It's breaking news.
I hope we ain't gonna get reneged on that and he lose and shit. He calling us like, nigga, y'all told everybody we won.
That's cool. That's definitely he in there.
That's what's up. So what you was saying? What you think about the midterms so far?
Oh man, it's kind of iffy. You know what I'm saying? I Marco Rubio, you know, he back up in there. He beat Gal Demings tonight.
Boo.
Yeah, that's boo that one right there. So he back in there. DeSantis won again. Rand Paul back in. But them are the ones you can expect. You know what we keeping an eye on is up in Georgia with Warnock versus Walker and Stacey Abrams and well, you know, we have to retire. Well, polls gonna close in Texas shortly too, so we're gonna see if Beto can get that seat.
I got a feeling Georgia gonna be the one that come down all the way to the wire.
Oh yeah, they might fuck around and have another runoff. And we got another congratulations going out to Maxwell Frost, 25-year-old, become the first member of Generation Z to reach the House of Representatives. 25-year-old black man was elected to the House of Representatives in Florida. So you know, we got some brothers out there making history tonight. So you know, no matter how it turn out in the end, there's already been a history making Never been done before. See, some new shit on the horizon. Got some new blood out there. We making history tonight, and let's just
It's
keep it up.
breaking news.
You know what I mean? Breaking news. Breaking.
Yeah, nah.
So, you know, like I was saying, you know, I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, we need to get some new blood and get some new young people out there in the Democratic Party, because we need to start grooming the next generation to take this thing and put it where it needs to be.
Yeah, I went on through my joint away from my girl. But I voted in DC. Her shit is just, she gonna win regardless.
She won, yeah.
I
DC,
just piled my shit on top of her shit.
yeah, DC is over in the primary. So whoever win the primary win DC.
My girl boy Bowser. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby. Oh, she's there. I'm good to go. DC Bowser. That's for sure. But as you can see here, the Congress, man, is tight too. Man. We don't want a whole lot of seats flipping around in the Congress. Look, I know that everybody be having their issues with certain parties and whatever the fuck, right? But what it comes down to is what your values are. You know what I'm saying? How you want to see the world. If you have kids, what world do you want them to be in? As you now alive and when you die, when you pass away, what world you leaving your child? You know what I'm saying, dog?
Right.
Like, and it come to me is like, you ain't gotta tell me who's Republican or Democrat or whatever the fuck, Green Party, I don't care, right? All I gotta do is hear what they're saying, and whatever their party platform is, if I agree with that platform, then therefore I'm gonna do whatever I can for that party to succeed. You know what I'm saying? That's just that. So when I'm gonna just give you one example, we in DC, we one of the forefronts of the cities that need guns out the streets, right? So therefore, if I listen to a candidate and their platforms and everything is green lit for guns all in the streets, much as possible, many guns as possible, loose all over the place, then I'm not sure my vote will be going to that person, whether it's a Democrat or Republican. You feel me?
Correct.
So to me, what is your values? What are you looking for in life, right? In America, as you're living in America, how you want America to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand when it's time to vote, Republicans start screaming crime. You know what I'm saying? That's their main thing. That's their thing. They spit it out.
Demonize, and they demonize black people and minorities with this crime shit. You know,
it's their code.
It's dog whistle again. So y'all need somebody to decipher that.
That's all that is. When they start talking crime, that's us. Urban, that's black.
Right.
All that stuff there is dog whistles. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking crime, they ain't give a fuck about crime. I bet you when they ain't running for nothing, they ain't gonna give a fuck about it again. You know what I'm saying? So they lead their campaigns with crime. So we just look at crime alone.
And see, well, I ain't gonna say everybody can tell. If you know, you can tell. If you know what to listen for, you can tell. Because they'll always cry about crime in the cities, in urban areas. Well, that's where most of your minorities and such is congregated in cities and the urban areas. You know what I'm saying? So when they say that, that's what they're talking about. Because you don't have an overwhelming black population in middle America, in Midwest, and in Minnesota and shit like that, where you have a huge congregation of blacks, Hispanics, and other minorities is in the cities, in the urban areas. So, when they talking about that, what they're telling they're telling suburban white women, and white men that these other people are going out to steal your shit. They're gonna rob you. They're gonna.
It's a fear thing. It's for suburban
fear mongering.
families and women to be scared and then vote for them.
Yeah,
See,
it's fear mongering.
again, I don't need nobody to wait till the last minute to fucking vote, bro. I don't like y'all. I hate y'all. Y'all a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I just don't like it. So that's a person that's waiting for the last minute. When you start giving these dog whistles at the last minute, that's for people that's waiting for, like, today it's time to vote. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, I don't like none of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't made your mind up by now, you need to don't even vote. You need to go somewhere and just start looking in the mirror and figure out what you want in life. You know what I'm saying, dog? Because politics is directly hit you. You know what I'm saying? You don't really care about it until it's something you need, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Then you start worrying about, is the government involved in this part? But up until then, you don't give a fuck. If it's somebody else, you don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing we was talking with Kat a couple of weeks ago, retired police officer. When we started talking about the social issues, the social programs and shit like that, when he felt like they was useless and nobody needed them. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was a waste of time. It was some shit for votes. And some people look at things different in the world. Now, that when I noticed that, it's like nobody in my community even think of that. All these social programs are joints they using. You know what I'm saying? It's part of their life. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody be like, man, those social programs are useless and all that, they just want votes for that stuff. That tells me these either you bullshitting yourself, right?
Right.
Or these programs are something you just ain't needed yet. You know what I'm saying? Because once you need them, then that's when you won't feel like they're supposed to be there. You feel me?
Right.
That's when I feel like that person right there is a piece of shit. Because you shouldn't wait till you need it. If it's something that, let's say this that cures cancer, right? You don't wait till you need it to vote for that. You know what I'm saying? One party want to cure cancer, one party feel like it's a hoax. You don't wait till the last minute. Oh, now I have it, so let me vote for this party. That I don't like that right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know the values of each party. Let's get this and vote for the values you need in your life. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you value guns, that's your thing. You right?
Yeah.
Like the Second Amendment and shit like that, or religious reasons. Then people like Trump and all that, that's your shit. Then that's your values. I can't debate that. I can't. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you feel like you like, but you need to know when you pull that trigger, what is happening when you take out the one thing you like. You feel me?
Right.
What about the rest of the shit he gonna be doing? You understand what I'm saying? I don't think people looking deep into that part of it. You feel me?
Well, you know, like I say, people vote. A lot of people, not all people, but a lot of people vote according to what's going on in their life at the time. You know what I'm saying? If it's money issues and it ain't a person out here that really don't vote, that really their wallet don't come into consideration, who they're gonna vote for. So the economy is always issue. It's an issue for everybody, for every voter, for real. But people vote their interest in what's going on in their life at the time. Fortunately or unfortunately, no matter whatever way you look at it, sometimes interests change. Situations change, and you have to switch boats midstream.
That's true. That's definitely true.
So that's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, America been split for a while, right? You know what I'm saying? Split on certain reasons, like
all the time.
I always feel like it steers from the Civil War, right? I just feel like that the Civil War is the pinpoint of everything. Like, where everybody thought process is coming from, wherever they coming from, right? And to me, I just think where you come from, where you raised at in America is pretty much. Say you was born and raised in Kentucky, right? As you look at the map, Kentucky, and you can see all these states on the side on the border, like Arizona, Texas, um, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? If you go back back in the day, those are the receding states, right? Those are the states where it was civil war. They wanted to continue with slavery. You feel me?
Yeah.
And those are basically all of the Republican strongholds where they get all the votes at. You feel me? On those spots, like Ohio, Kentucky, Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where people are born and raised, where the Confederate flag looked at different from us. What you think? What you think about that?
I mean, that's
The way we
true.
look at the Confederate flag, they look at it different.
It's different from the way they look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Their
part of
heritage.
it's part of
And
their
it's just
heritage,
some
it's
shit.
it's part of that the history or whatever. And you got one thing about this country is everybody's different. You got 50 states, and all states is different. Ain't one state the same, and everybody in there, each state think a different way, and feel a different way.
Exactly. That's what I want everybody to get the understanding of. Yeah.
This is Maryland ain't like North Dakota, and North Dakota ain't like California, and Wyoming ain't like Massachusetts, and so on and so on.
Exactly.
So
that's my point.
You got.
That's the point I want to get out, because
different people with different mindsets.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's really on the for real. Very few issues that the masses come together and agree on. You know what I'm saying? Like guns. Guns is basically the country is 50-50 on that. Healthcare. You can't. It's basically 50-50 on that. But the only time you really see this country with a mindset that's which everybody got the same frame of mind is when we at war. And sometimes that ain't even the case then. Like 9/11, this country was unified as it probably never was, it never will be in history again. But after it was over and it died down, you got the same old shit. We arguing over this, arguing over that.
So like right now, it's time to vote and everything, right? So the average person will think, all right, I need such and such done, but you from this state and you look at things different. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when you see somebody in Kentucky that vote against something, you be thinking, all right, why would he vote against this and that? Because he representing a state that looks that different. You feel me? And I think that's one thing that everybody miss, where it's 100 different people, you know what I'm saying, in the Senate, and over 400 something in the Congress that represent somebody thinking. You know what I'm saying? And just like we just saying, if you brought up in a certain state, certain states give you certain thought processes. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you got certain senators that think certain ways, or some of them be bullshitting. They be faking.
That's why you get the shit out of Joe Manchin that you get, because Joe Manchin, I don't believe really that Joe Manchin disagree his ideology and what he believes and what he doesn't believe is much different from what Joe Biden believes. But the problem is he's a Democratic senator or whatever from a red state, which is West Virginia. And if he don't, and he been in, and he been there for a while. So if he don't cater to his constituents, you know, he can't be a senator from West Virginia. He can't do what the people of Massachusetts want, or he's not gonna get reelected. So at some point, you know, getting reelected has to come to mind, has plays in his mind. So he got to cater to the people that put him in that office if he wants to stay in office. So that's why you get the shit out of Joe Manchin that you get, because he got his mind on, I got to get back in this seat. I don't want to lose my job. And if I vote this way, or if I agree with this, the people of my state where I live at and the people that I need to put me back in this office is not gonna vote for me. So that's why you get so much bullshit out of him when it's time for shit that he know that if he didn't have that pressure on him back in his home state, he would vote for it.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it's just like when you think Democrat, Republican, or Independent or Green Party, whatever the fuck, I just think it come down to, first of all, you have to vote. If you ain't voting, then your conversation is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying, dog?
If you don't take an hour or two of your time every 4 years, 2 to 4 years, to just go to your local polling place, you can register to vote online. You can go.
But some people don't vote at all. They
you just don't vote at all. The thing that pissed me off the most is people who don't vote, who don't participate in the process, who don't look up the candidates, who don't even look at the news unless it's somebody getting killed or some shit or some dumb shit like that. That shit burned me up. Because if you would take the time to know the issues, to study the issues, and it don't take long to do it. And every 2 or 4 years, take your raggedy ass down to your local polling place,
you know,
and cast your vote. You know who you're gonna vote for. You be in a voting machine 5 minutes. Okay, you might have to stand in line or whatever. But okay, hey. But then when your social service check get cut off or your food stamps get cut, then you're mad and you want to, oh, the president ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? My unemployment gone. Oh, the president ain't shit. And Donald Trump would have did this. Donald Trump would have did a fucking thing.
My man, brother Juice. What it do, player? What's going on with you? I can hear you. Hold up. You muted yourself. I understand what you're saying, but you say that shit back. I can hear you. Go ahead. Oh, damn, you muted yourself again.
Yeah, man,
you muted.
If you don't vote, shut up. Just shut the hell up.
But tonight is the night.
All right, I can hear you. I can hear you.
You're good, player. What's going on with you?
Ain't nothing, man. Hanging in there. You know, I ain't doing too much. I ain't making too much noise. You know what I mean?
What's my man here? Number
What's
one
going
soul
on?
brother Tony.
Number one soul brother. What's going on, baby?
Ain't much. Ain't much. Just sitting here checking out this election night and, hopefully get some good news in
Yeah. We're locked in. Oh, man.
I know, man. You don't, hold up. You're independent or Republican or Democrat? Or you just whatever?
I mean, I don't know if I really would assign myself to, either one, any box that they didn't, created for us. Take this dog. Any, box that they created for us. But, if I had to choose based on my faith and my belief, I would probably align myself, more with the probably independent or Republican, just based off of, my belief system, my family, things that I was taught growing up, and the results also, things that I see in society and the way that, things have went up and went down based on certain decisions of, certain people, I think the proof is in the pudding. But I think at the end of the day, regardless of what anyone wants to, think, being attacked for that, and turning people into the thought police is kind of a little OD in my. I can't
That's
hear
what's
the
up.
background no more.
Say it again.
Hold on.
Thought police. But okay, that's what's up. I like that. But now, you can hear me? Oh no, you went mute. I mute you? Oh, you
Nah,
good.
I can hear you.
I agree on to a certain extent, right? Right.
Yeah.
Because when you say, all right, decisions made lately, like right now, there's a lot going on. It's like Senate races going on all over the country, right? And obviously, you'll prefer the Republicans run both Congress and Senate.
You said, am I for it? What'd you say?
I mean, you'll be comfortable with, because you say you're independent, more Republican, right? So you'll be good with Republicans just taking over the Congress and Senate, right?
I mean, personally, I'd be good with whoever's in there because, they can make whatever laws they want. They can say it's okay to marry a cow. That don't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Like, I live by a different set of laws that our father has given us. And so just because they say something or they tell people how to think or they try to force some type of foolishness down our throat, I got to be along for the ride. But if people want to, that's all good. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. But one thing we got to do agree on though, right? We are living in the same society, in the same world, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we got laws in whatever nation or place
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
at.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I'm taught, my family, we are to obey those laws until those laws contradict the laws given by a higher authority. That's when we be like, I don't know about that. I got some ancestors and family members y'all probably know about. They made a law and told Daniel he couldn't pray. Did he obey that law? No. And they put him in the lines.
Yeah.
And they put him in the lines. Then you feel what I'm saying? They made a law and told the three boys in the joint to get down and worship when they played the music and start dancing. And they said nah. And they got thrown in a fiery furnace. And so, they told Peter and John. This is the last one. I ain't gonna do too much. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna do too
You
much.
do what you want on this joint. It's a podcast.
They told Peter and John stop preaching Jesus, and they said who are we to obey, God or man? And they said we're gonna do what we gotta do. Y'all do what y'all gotta do.
Correct. So this is where I think, man, we all, I like, what's that called? Separate from both of y'all, right? Like, when do you get the thought process where you put religion with politics?
Ooh.
Let me get that, Tone.
Where did you put it?
Yeah, where you get that from?
Well, first of all,
That's a good one.
who is your higher power? Who's the head of your life? It's God. It's Jesus. So if you live by the good book, if you live according to what Jesus taught, then it's put it like this. It's easier then for you to obey, even though you may not agree with the laws that people created.
I get that.
The Bible teaches you.
I get that. But
hold on. Is it in the Bible that God has ordained and put the leaders in place that we have for his purposes and to serve his purposes? So if you live according to the Bible that Jesus teaches, then you don't have to agree with it, but you will obey it, or you will live according to the laws, but you will always live according to what the Bible teaches. That is the highest power.
So what you think, brother? Juice?
I honestly think it go hand in hand because when I came, uh, brother Yeshua, other people call him Jesus. It don't really matter, but he talked about a kingdom. But as just as much as he talked about a kingdom with laws and a king and people, he talked about a family, and so it's all about a family. You enter into a new relationship with the Father and the Son. So now you're part of this people called Israel. And so most people and everyone who's a Christian has been grafted into Israel. They just don't understand it like that. But when my ancestors left Egypt, right, there was a mixed multitude. It was Egyptians there were Midianites, there was a bunch of other people, and they welcomed them. The very same people who enslaved them for the last 215 or so years. They didn't say, "Oh, no, y'all not coming with us." No, they brought them. And when 400 years before that, when Abraham was walking around, he welcomed any and everyone who wanted to follow him and be part of this family that believed in the God of Noah. And so it wasn't about politics back then or for the last 5,000 or 500 or so years. It's been about nations and people groups and things like that. And so
Okay,
when you start talking
but
about politics, it's like,
it's me. But okay, exactly. It's a couple of things that's in politics that you can't. It's a separation of state and religion, right?
Yeah.
that's what they said.
Do we agree?
That's what they said.
Do we agree though?
That's what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a separation.
All right.
It's supposed to be a
Okay,
separation of.
Hold on. My problem
church and
is
state.
church and state. It should be a separation. We do agree on that, brother Juice.
Well,
We agree?
if the church are the people, no, because if the church is the people, then they're part of the state.
No. It's a separation in politics, though, right?
What's the
Right?
separation?
We
Well,
do
again,
agree.
God told us He tells you how to live your life, and then politics show you how to live your life. If the politics align with how He told you how to live your life, then yeah, it ain't no beef. But when politics don't care nothing about how He told you to live your life, and they kick, certain things out of their establishments and their organizations, and things like that, then no, it's not. It's not all good.
It's not all good.
It's not all good.
Hey, bro, I can't even see it and shit. Hey, come back later, bro. Huh? Bro. Oh, that's my man. Hey, but I'm live, bro. He's tripping, bro. I can't, burn. Oh, let me mute this. I can't, bro. Hold on. Let me hear you. Hold on. I can't. This nigga wild. Hey, tomorrow night. Hey, hold on. We was talking some good shit right now. Hold up. Let's go back to what I was saying. Separation of church and state. Right? Is that relevant?
No,
Is that something that's in,
no.
or that's something we just been going by?
It's something
That's the
supposed
problem.
to be, but it's something that's supposed to be, but it isn't something that is, because you have certain politicians who will put their religious beliefs out there and what they believe, and try to twist it in some cases.
That's what I'm about to say.
And what they believe, they try to force on the public.
True.
So it's supposed to be a separation of church and state, so you won't have so this country won't have what they have in Middle Eastern countries, whereas they live and they are governed by the Quran. But you have, it's supposed to be that way, but when religion will serve a purpose, or they can twist it to serve a purpose, then they will throw it out there.
Nah, my problem is like it shouldn't be religion in politics, right? Because, for example, abortions. When you have a law that restricts abortions, that's just religion, right? Do we all agree on that? That ain't nothing that other than that. That's the reason for that, right?
Well, no, but before it was anything called religion, it was what people believed, and people didn't abort their babies, for thousands of years. You know what I mean? It was just what they believed. They believed that this person was alive, and that it wasn't that person's choice anymore. Once it was a whole nother body in there, and so it was murder. So they didn't. I mean, that's exactly what Kanye just said, and that's why he got in trouble. One of the main things he said is, "I'm jealous of the Israelite people." He said Jews, but he said, I'm jealous of their culture. I'm jealous how they make money. I'm jealous how they stick together. I'm jealous how they don't abort their babies because they believe that God told them that it's murder. And so the problem is men not in politics, because when men aren't in politics, there's no one to step up and say, no, don't tell my 8-year-old boy he can wear a dress to be a girl. And see, that's what happens. And where is that at? Well, that's in Leviticus. Men don't wear women's clothes and women don't wear men clothes. Like, so when you have an agenda that's being pushed for something like that, well, we need to ask our questions, like, who's really on our side and who's really not on our side, and that's just one aspect of the whole thing. But I mean, we can talk about what the women in men's sports. There's not going to be any men that say, hell no, that don't make sense. Let's not do that, because they say it's politics, and they say, no, we're going to stay over here with our morals and our things, and we're going to leave the politicians to the politicians. But they're making the laws that's teaching our kids things that we don't believe. Don't teach my kid that he's a monkey. Don't teach my kid in the public schools that he came from an animal over 200 billion years from some slime on a rock. No, I'm going to tell him that he's a descendant of Adam and Noah and Abraham. You know what I'm saying? At least Noah for sure, because everyone came from Noah. So if not Abraham, you at least know you're descendant of Noah. That's where everything started. When we start talking about race and where people came from, we can't stop at 1400 AD. That's 5,400 years into the story. Let's go at least to 1,000 years, you know what I'm saying, when Noah was born. And then 1500, the flood happened, and then his 3 sons repopulated the earth. That's a lot more simple and basic than, we came from monkeys, and the darker you are, the less more inferior you are. That's what Darwin and evolution and the origin of species is. That's what created this racism of the lighter your skin, the more superior you are. That's new. That's man-made. So I'm not going to apply or be part of this foolishness, because it came late.
Wait. What tomorrow? You hear me? Tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. What's the day?
Tuesday.
Tomorrow, Wednesday. Wednesday. That's tomorrow. Today, Tuesday. Wednesday is tomorrow. But hold on. This is what I'm saying right here about when we do politics. I don't think them two things should be mixed up together, because they're irrelevant. They don't have anything to do with each other. You see what I'm saying?
You're saying it don't matter what people believe.
No,
I don't think politics and religion should be together. But it should be mixed. They don't have anything to do with each other.
They do, because all the laws that you make are based off of what is in the Bible.
Nah, see, that's the problem.
Okay,
you can't make laws all based off the Bible.
Okay, where do you get that? Okay, where does the murder? Where does the law against killing people come from? It comes from the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not kill.
But there's no way you can do that. For example, everybody don't follow the same Bible, bro. Everybody don't do the same religion.
That's true.
So how can you do that? Just use your religion to guide everything.
But
Why?
this
Why?
is
Explain
because
that.
This is
You
more-
can't do it. That's
this
why
is
it's
more or less-
separation,
this
bro.
is more or less. This is more or less.
No,
a
no.
Christian country.
This is why
But
it's a
more or less-
separation, bro. Go ahead, brother.
That's
Juice.
why
You
it
got
is
something
in
to say?
this country, because you have such a melting pot, and you have such a you
No,
have so much of everything
that's the problem.
that you
So
that
therefore,
it's better.
we
not
can't
to
go
do
by
that.
what your religion is, right?
Huh?
Because other people
We got to go by
religions too.
this. We got to go by this.
You
It's
can't
like
go by
it's-
any. That's my problem. You can't do anything.
No,
You
we
can't do
the law-
politics
we
with
have to go
religion,
by
bro.
this. We have
It is-
Go ahead,
it is
we have
no
to go
law-
by
there is
this.
no law that is on the books
See,
that ain't based off
prime
of
time
biblical
and
times.
his boys down in Jackson State say it every week. It's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it, right? So they can force their belief system because they believe that it's 70 different genders, right? We have to assign to that, right? If a grown man sit down in your chair and say, address me, acknowledge me as a female or one of the other 70 joints, you're gonna do that. But
No,
if I
hold
tell them no,
on.
acknowledge me as, you know,
You pushing mute. Hold on. Let's stay. You muted yourself. You hear me? You muted yourself.
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was saying we have to assign to them telling us that, oh, it's 70 different genders and all this stuff, but you know, we can't believe what we want to believe in peace. You can believe what you believe in peace. We can't even say nothing about it, or you get kicked off the map. But we can't believe what we want to believe. We can't teach our kids what we want to teach, and say that's the problem. No one's standing up and saying, hey, that's not a good idea to let grown men go into women's sports in high school and college and smoke them up the track and slam them on their head and wrestling. Like, we got to just accept that.
Wait.
Again, if a dude come and sit down in your barber chair and tell you, a grown man, say, I'm a woman.
Wait.
What you going to tell him?
All right, that right there. That's you equate religion with that right there. With transgender.
With that scenario, with what?
Transgender.
Yeah.
Well,
you
the Bible,
your religion
the Bible,
with transgender. Right?
my ancestors,
that what you're saying?
my ancestors wrote about that, and God addressed that, and he said his piece on that. I don't have to say it, you know. I mean, it's already.
No.
You don't have to say it.
Wait. Hold. Now let's stay on point. Now, as I said, is you can't go by your religion because it's many more religions. So you can't put that in politics because America is free country. Everybody got their own religions. They can hold on.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Exactly. So if there's so many different people with so many different religions, what makes you think then, as politicians, you can use your religion to guide the politics?
Because this country was founded on Christian principles.
See, there you see that's false.
How's
You can't
not?
do that
How's not?
because everybody don't believe
That's
that.
not false. That's not false. That's fact. That's a
Hold
fact.
on.
This
Stay with
country
me.
was
Stay with
founded-
me.
You can
Stay
believe
with
it,
me.
I mean, it ain't
Country
true.
was founded on Christian principles, and this is a Christian country.
Whether you believe it or not.
Every other religion that came into this country came in after Christianity. So if the country is founded on Christian principles, that's where you go. That's where you start at. Now, any other religion that came in afterwards is not going to succeed what was here first. That's just like if you go over to the Middle East. The Middle East countries are founded on Islamic principles, and they are governed by the Quran.
So to
You
you,
tell them.
America-
You can tell those
even
boys
though
you can be a
have
girl.
Christians in that country, that's still a Muslim country.
so you telling me America is a Christian country?
Yes,
Who said that?
history,
You heard somebody say that before?
history,
You heard any president say that?
history.
Who said that?
Hold up, have you ever had a president other than
I'm listening
Other
though.
than-
No.
other than a
Stay
Christian.
with me.
You name one president that wasn't a Christian.
I see again. Why would they have to be a Christian to be president?
Even if
that
they
what
were
y'all
Catholic,
think? Do y'all
isn't
agree?
fit.
That what y'all think or
It
something?
doesn't have to be, but you name one that wasn't.
You don't know.
I do know. It wasn't. It's not a president that you can't name. Is what? It's 46 presidents.
How do you know that all of them was Christians? Though?
All of them was Christians. You can go back and check.
How do
You
you
can go back
know?
through history.
How do you know?
Now, I can't stamp that. I don't know if I stamped. I mean, they might have lived by Christian values. We don't. No one knows the heart because to
That's
be
what
a
I'm about to
Christian,
get to.
to be a Christian is an inside thing that doesn't
about to
really
get to.
show on the outside, other than your actions, your words, and how you deal with people. That's the only way you tell someone's a Christian. Because a lot of people say they're Christian, but they ain't never been born again. They don't truly understand the process. And so, just like
So-
you got the one right now, no one knows but God.
So we
No-
all
no one
agree
knows
that
if someone-
America's a free country. Everybody can do
You can do what you want to
freely
do.
think what they want, right?
Yeah.
You
Any
can
religion.
until you're a Christian and you start talking about what you believe in Christian values, and then there's a problem. See, that's the thing. Everyone can do whatever they want to do, but the moment you say, "Hey, well, the Bible says this," well, then it's a problem.
No, I'm talking about far as remember, we talking far as politics, right?
I'm talking about in general and in politics. In general and in politics, everybody can do whatever they want to do, believe whatever they want to believe.
Exactly.
Every religion, but until someone says, "Well, I believe in Jesus," or "I don't believe that that's true. I believe in white and black. I don't believe in this gray area that you guys are creating," then it's a problem. You're called a bigot. You're called misogynist, because you believe in man and wife and that a man is the head of the household. Like, you're called all kinds of things based off of how your family and my ancestors and what they believe. This is what they believe. Don't call me a bigot because I believe that a man should be a man and he should be out and providing and doing that thing. No, that's what I was taught. That's what I was raised on. But in society now, it's toxic. Right? Don't tell my little girls. I don't got no little girls, but don't tell my little girl she's equal to a man, that she can do anything a man can do. No, she can't, and I'm not going to teach her that because she's not. And if I
But
want her
she
to be
can,
happy
though.
later on in life,
but she can do anything
she
a man
can't
can do.
physics.
When you get into
She
that,
can,
you're
but at
talking
the end of the day, she's not going to be as happy as she
can
would be
achieve-
if she
can
did the
achieve-
things
achieve.
that.
You're talking about achievement there. When you talk about achievement, a woman can achieve anything that a man can achieve.
You can do
It ain't
anything
gonna
a
make her
man can do.
happy though. It's not gonna make
Why
her
not?
happy.
Depends on the
See, the
person.
things that make us
It
happy,
depends on the
the
person.
things that make men happy don't make women happy. See, we are happy with
But it depends on the
jobs and
person.
money and degrees of
Mm.
success. We not only do we need the success, we want the success and status in life. They don't need that, and so when they go after that, you look at all the research and all the evidence. These women are 40 years old now, and they're like, "Man, I wish I'd have chose a family over spending 10 more years in school to make $300,000, and now I'm lonely." And so the feminists lied to them. They lied to them.
Oh, wait.
You got some men in the same boat.
Wait.
They lied to them. They sold them a
Okay.
lie.
So we all agree to disagree that, well, y'all two agree that it should be religion in politics, right? So we disagree with it.
I don't agree
No,
that it should be.
Hold on,
What I'm saying is,
what?
they say it's a separation. They say it's a separation, and it shouldn't be. But when you look at the whole situation, that's what they fought. That's basically what they're trying to force on you is what they believe.
So are you cool with religion in politics? Making the decision for all of the bills, anything being passed, led by
If it's
religion.
based
That's
off
cool.
of-
agree.
based on the
Yes or
I
no?
agree if you govern
Either yes or no.
if you govern according to the principles and the teachings of Jesus Christ, I can agree.
What?
Yeah.
No, wait.
First of all, you gotta know what the teachings and the principles of Jesus Christ
No.
are.
What I'm
If
asking you
you-
is, are you okay with somebody, let's say a senator, being led by religion on all their decisions? That's a yes or no.
If it's not, because it's a nuanced question.
No, what?
It's a nuanced question. Because,
Okay, let me
because-
backtrack it then.
Because if
I got you.
Let me backtrack it then. Let me say it again.
You,
Let me do it another way.
if you if you are a person and your religion guides in what you believe as a Christian guides your decision, that is to look out for the poor, the have-nots, the downtrodden, to lift them up, to so forth, so on and so forth, as Jesus Christ did, and what he taught. Then yes, because then you are governing according to what
So
what the followers of Jesus.
So
Christ
you agree
believe.
with somebody using religion to guide their policies?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Yes or no? Now, what you think, brother Juice?
He said he only agree with it if it's based off of the principles of the Bible.
Yes or no?
And so I agree. Hold on, am I muted? Okay, yeah. So
Huh?
I believe it's not religion and politics that's the problem. It's when politics begin to
So you cool
encroach
with somebody
on
guiding
households
their decisions,
and
though.
families and belief systems.
You see what I'm saying? You hear me?
Am I still alive?
Yeah, go ahead. You good?
So, oh, all right, yeah. I'm about to say, this is the
So
first
okay
time
with
I ain't see
somebody-
nobody but myself. But yeah, nah, it's politics encroaching in on families and religions and their belief system, telling them how to raise their kids and things like that. That's the problem.
Okay, but I know either one of y'all just want to say yes or no to the question of is politics
because it's
and
nuances.
religion
Because it's nuances.
because it's not no nuance.
It's nuances to that.
Why I'm clear when I say no?
Because everybody.
Why I'm clear? Why I'm clear?
Like
Did you hear me?
Like
I said no, right?
Everybody doesn't believe.
Because
everybody doesn't believe the same thing, and some people don't understand.
All right, so you should be as a person,
you don't
right?
care.
You should, as a politician, guide all your policies by whatever your religion is. I don't give a fuck, Christian or whatever. You shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be involved in anything.
But if I live my life according to what I believe in,
I don't care how you live your life, bro.
The teachings of Jesus Christ.
That's the problem.
I don't care how you live your life, bro.
No,
you're a politician. I don't care.
Into play.
No, it don't.
It does come into play. Your beliefs come into play. What you
no,
believe?
I said religion. I don't care what you believe.
What
your
you
religion.
Believe, your religion is part of your life because your religion guides how you think, how you feel, and how you interact towards other people.
Okay, so stop right there.
So you can't take that out of the equation.
Yeah, what you mean?
You can't.
What you mean, bro?
So I can't take it out of the equation because you call it religion, but it's a belief system. It's not just something to do. It's part of my identity. This goes back down into the blood of my ancestors. We can stop at Noah. Like, it's not something that you do. It's something that our Father in heaven commanded us to do so that we could be happy and blessed and safe and smart and not believe in all types of foolishness. It's not a religion. See, everything that was made up later on down in life, that's religion. See, we're talking about something that was made at the beginning in the garden when he first promised the coming Messiah and he was telling them how to live. That's not a religion. That's something that happened at the beginning. The religion is like Islam, 700 AD. Catholicism, 300 AD. No, Jehovah's Witnesses, 1948. Think about, we're talking thousands of years since the truth about this coming Messiah who was going to reverse the curse and save humanity. Not just a nation or a few people, but a whole race of humanity. A whole race of humanity.
But you get what I'm... See, my problem is, when you start trying to lead as a politician with your religion, you're going to make bonehead decisions. You're going to make decisions that not for the better of America as a whole. You feel what I'm saying?
Not if you do what Brother Tony said. Brother Tony said that he believed the principle of the Bible should be what should be led by, and I believe that too. I believe that it's inerrant. I believe everything that is given to us in it is for our own good. For example, he didn't just say don't mix linen and wool for no reason in the book of Leviticus. He said don't do it because those two fabrics are super fabrics. They're measured in megahertz. When you put them on, it's like alkanizing, restoring. That's why we put old people on linen sheets in the doctors and they don't get. So he said don't mix it in a sock or a shirt because when you do that, you don't get any of the 5,000 megahertz of benefit. It goes all the way down to zero. So rather than benefiting and being blessed with 5,000 megahertz of energy, now it's zero because you mix these two cloths, linen and wool, in one garment. And now you're hurting yourself because our body gives off 100 megahertz of energy, like cotton. So when we put on something that's less than our body, 100, it hurts us. When we put on something that's greater, like linen and wool, 5,000, it heals us. So he was trying to protect them. And so you have to take that perspective on everything in scripture, whether we understand why he told us that or not, because they didn't understand that back then, but he expected them to listen so that they wouldn't hurt themselves.
All right, so
And
now
thing.
you just two things you just did right now. You just admitted that it was 4 or 5 different religions. They
More
all
than that.
I know that, but they all started different times. You just said that out your mouth, right? Right.
Yeah, I said they came thousands. I said they came thousands
Not
of
the
years
same
after
times,
the
though.
truth.
Different times, right?
They came
We agree?
thousands of years after.
We agree, though, right? We agree on that. That is multiple religions in America.
Multiple religions is multiple religions everywhere, and they all started at different times.
Exactly. So
But-
now, hold on. Hold on.
Come on with it.
I get it. But if you in the Congress or Senate, you cannot guide by your religion because there's multiple religions in America. Hold on. Let me get Cap in here.
How can
My
you
man Cap. What's going on, player?
Not? How can you not?
Huh? What you mean, how can you not? Hold on.
Because your religion and what you believe in and your core beliefs are what guides you in how you live your life, how you make decisions, how you look at the world, how you interact, and how you treat other people.
I get that. I get all that. But you're a politician now, right?
So you telling me if you're a politician, then you gotta just toss your set of your core beliefs and how you was taught and how what you believe in your heart, you gotta toss that aside.
Yeah.
That's how you got Donald Trump.
Yeah. Go ahead. What's going on, Cap? My man Cap in this place.
What's up, man? Thanks so much for inviting me, man.
Everything
I'm
good.
sorry
I don't know if
we
you've been listening to the conversation so far.
I jumped in at a good time, right? Church and state separation. Huh?
Yeah, we debating on should it be separated or not. You know what I'm saying? If anybody don't know, this is a former police captain. We call him Cap on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's my man right here. You know, I want to get your general impressions of separation of church and state and politics itself.
I'm all for it. I think that church and state should be separate. I don't think that the church should have influence over the state, and I don't think the state should have influences over religions. So I'm all for it. I think that they should be separated, and I'm glad that they are, and I want it to remain that way.
Now, my reasons for keeping them separated is multiple reasons because it's different religions. Because I can't let every politician come in at the whim of doing their religion. You know what I'm saying?
That's not gonna happen.
What you mean?
It's not gonna happen.
You just said you'll go by your religion and make decisions and policies by that. That means everybody get to do that. And everybody don't have your religion. Now you see what I'm saying?
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that. And that's go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree with that 100% too. And I'd be perfectly fine if, politics left the church to themselves to go and preach the gospel and tell everyone about Jesus and didn't try to force a bunch of stuff. I'd be perfectly fine with it.
Exactly.
Because I don't need your laws or your stuff. I have my own king. I have my own set of laws and standards that I can teach my son. I don't send him to public schools. I can teach him everything I need to teach him. And so that's cool.
So that's a whole other step right
there. You're not going to see you're not going to see the church press.
The government can't tell the church anything. And then
it's a separation. That's right.
The church cannot do anything political from the pulpit, from the church in church activities. So if a preacher wanted to endorse a candidate or say something political, he has to do it in a setting that's outside the church.
Oh, they do that all the time.
No. Yeah, they repealed the law.
Yeah, they did that all the time.
They repealed that a few years ago. Now they can endorse. Now churches can endorse political candidates. That was something they couldn't do.
They bring them in the bully pit. I mean, they be bringing them in there the whole time.
But there are restrictions.
Half of them don't even know that this is their first time of being in the church. That church, you know what I'm saying?
There are restrictions if you're government funded, though. If you're a 501c church, you have to have the Bibles that they say have in there. You can't talk about any other religions, not even politics, And so that has just changed. But if you're an independent church and you don't receive funding from the state, then you can talk about whatever you want to talk about in church. I know many pastors, and I've been to many churches where they don't have those restrictions because they don't get money from the state.
Yeah, regardless, I think it's a bad idea. I think that when we look at, number one, the history of Europe and all the church and all the churches that were somehow involved with the wars, right? Propagating wars. We look at slavery. The Catholic Church said everything was okay as long with slavery. So, and even if we look in the Middle East now, many of these countries are fundamentalist countries. Some of them are the Taliban and all that are guided by their religion. So if and when you let religious people take over, then they just naturally just try to do that. And that's the same point that you were making a little while ago, that they will do it. If they're guided by these principles, then next thing you know, you will become a fundamentalist nation of people who are guided by their biblical ideology and not by what's best for the people.
Exactly.
So
that's tough.
But that's done anyway.
And that's why you get them saying it's a hoax for the environment. It's a hoax because it's going against their religion. Their Bible is telling them. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, you'll go against science, the reality of something, for your religion. Yes.
Huh?
That's my point.
How you going against science if
you'll go? Science and reality don't go together, bro. Y'all read the book?
How?
All right then.
Because
all right, that's my point.
If you believe in God, you believe that everything is of God and from God.
I'm saying is science and religion don't jive.
Science science gives us the Newton laws of, like everything, like the water system, like, you know what I'm saying? Every animal species, how did everything come? Are we really slime from a rock 200 billion years ago, and then there was monkeys and stuff? Or were we a unique creation made by God on the 6th day in his image, and everything is perfect as far as roughly 365 days a year, 24 hours a day? The moon cycles 29.5 days. We're just close enough to the sun so that we don't melt, but we're not too far that where we freeze. All that came by chance. That's what the evolution atheists say, the people who reject the Bible. But the Bible confirms everything that we say. It confirms the water system. It says the water comes from up there, and then it goes there, and then it evaporates. He talks about the spherical view of the earth and all the other planets that he created. Even his calendar, the stars tell our annual calendar. You can get knocked out, wake up on an island. If you understand the constellations, you'll know what time of the year it is. We can wake up on an island after we got knocked out, look up at the moon, and know whether it's waxing or waning, what day it is. Like science. What do you mean? The Bible confirms everything that we see in our physical reality. But the Bible talked about it.
In that same the diatribe you just had, you still said it was somebody called atheists.
Yeah, that's just someone who doesn't believe.
And they paying taxes like you, right? And they don't want you to use your religion to put any policies on them.
That's fine. I don't want to.
Get it?
Okay. I don't want to. I'm not trying. I'm not
trying to force you on the same page.
I'm not trying to force. I'm not trying to force anything on anybody.
Atheists use what they don't believe to put policies on you.
I get it.
See, look,
but
the
Catholics,
the Catholics,
I get that. But
the Catholics forced it. The Catholics forced their religion on people. Jesus Christ told his followers.
I think you muted yourself. You muted yourself. But that takes me to go ahead.
The Catholics force their religion on people. Jesus says, do not force people. You tell them the truth and you give them the opportunity to make their own decision. If they want to live by a certain set of codes that violate your moral laws, whether it be transgendered or marrying cows or doing whatever, 70 different, you know what I'm saying? If they want to do that, that's fine. But you and your people, as for us and me and my household, we going to observe the book. You know what I'm saying?
That takes me to something. Hold up. You got something to say, Cap?
No, I just think that it's very optimistic, and it's good that these brothers are saying they don't want to do that. But the history of the world tells us that people do want to do it, and that they have, given the opportunity, they will do it. you know, they had
Osama bin
for a
Laden
long
would do it quick.
for a long time there was prayer in schools. And I know some people are still upset about that. That was taken away in the 1960s because you can't force people who don't believe or believe in a different prayer or method or different God or
Or the
whatever
decline.
to do that.
That
To
is where
do
you
that.
got separation of church and state from, for real.
The
It came
the
from non-believers.
decline. The
But
decline of
who's
society.
non-believers? None of that matters, though. You see what I'm
But
saying? This is politics. That's what I'm trying to tell
I
you.
understand.
But that brings me to the main thing I want to talk about is Kyrie, right? So I just want to get y'all overall feelings. First of all, him tweeting out what he tweeted. I don't know if y'all know about this, Cap. He tweeted out. You know about this? He tweeted out
Yeah, this movie or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a documentary. Is it? You know the name of it? I forgot the name
Hebrews
of
and
it.
Negroes.
Negroes
Negro.
to Hebrews to
And,
Negroes or something like that.
Hebrews and Negroes.
And he tweeted that. He retweeted it. And ever since then, they've been giving him little. First of all, he's suspended. Yeah, he paid $500,000. You know what I'm saying? You got to do sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training. You got to meet with the owner. You know what I'm saying? You got to do some other 5 months of some other stuff too. So I just want to know I'm gonna go around first. I'm gonna start with Juice. What do you think about the overall thing that's going on with Kyrie Irving, from the tweet to the retaliations and where he at now?
I think he's being attacked by the thought police because it's about him retracting something or saying that he just don't agree with something that was in it. And I think that's, crazy because, again, he's supposedly being accused of saying something insensitive about a people group that I identify with. But I'm not mad or upset or anything bad happened. It's free speech in this country. He can say whatever he wants. He can think whatever he wants. I'm not going to say, oh, shut up because you're talking about my ancestors. Like, no, we established that earlier. Like when, we ain't gonna go back to that. But, I believe, he's being attacked by, an agenda because he's not going with the grain. And I think it's wrong, and free speech is almost non-existent, and that's what happens when you just let politicians and people just do things like that. Then they begin to determine what the people should hear. Then they can use their billion-dollar buddies who own the social media things to filter and brainwash people into thinking silliness, again, like a million different genders, and so, or pronouns. I'm sorry, not even genders, pronouns.
Let me ask you this then. I'm gonna push it back a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you posted something out that's disrespectful to black people. Let's say somebody white did that, right? Put out some old roots type stuff out, just retweeted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And offended the black culture itself. Now, the Jewish culture or any other culture might not recognize that pain or whatever just happened there. You know what I'm saying? And it might went over their head. They ain't paying no attention to it, right? But something happened that the culture itself is reflecting on, right? Like all us would do. Mm-hmm. So if he tweets something that one culture is saying, hey, there's something in there I'm not feeling, do you think then he should then apologize? It should be like either he agree with that or my apologies.
No, because again, I don't see how it could go over the Jewish or Israel. It shouldn't be Jewish because it's actually a whole nation. It's called Israel. Jacob had 12 sons, not just one son named Judah. He had 12 sons. And so you can't just identify a whole nation of people made from 12 brothers with just one of the brothers' names. Like that's the technology that they hit you with, first off. And number two, it's dang, I keep messing up.
You good? You good? Oh, I was just trying. Go ahead.
How would it go over their head? About pain and suffering that the descendants of African slaves went through when they were slaves in Egypt for 400 something years. And then you read Deuteronomy 28, it wasn't just African slaves on them ships to America. Read Deuteronomy 28:68. He told them, he promised the descendants of Abraham and Jacob that you will be taken back to Egypt in ships. And what
No,
happened
no,
in
no,
Egypt?
hold
They
on,
were
hold on.
slaves.
But what I'm asking you is, you saying no, he shouldn't apologize for something that one culture
He didn't say.
pointing
If
out something.
he didn't say.
No, what I'm
He didn't
saying
say.
is,
If he says something
I explained that.
that
What if somebody
offended somebody,
retweeted something that offended our culture, right? And people addressed it to him, you expect them to either agree with the something that y'all disagree with or apologize for that, right? Either he agree with it or not.
he got free speech, man. That's how he feel. That's how he feel.
So,
He got free speech. If you
so
want to
no apology.
apologize,
Just
if you
don't
want to
apologize.
apologize, if you want to apologize, be a bigger person, you can apologize. See, in my family, when you believe what you believe, you apologize to people and you try to go out of your way to make people feel uncomfortable. That's what Jesus taught us. But if you don't want to align with what the Bible says, then you can be someone who wants to eye for an eye, and you have to retaliate all the time, and you have to do this, and you have to be better. But that's not what I believe. That's not what I'm taught. That's not what the Bible teaches. That's not what Christians believe. But Christians don't know what Christians are supposed to believe.
Look, it goes back to what I said a couple days ago. It's not about the tweet. The tweet garbage is over with. The problem with what Kyrie got into deep doo-doo about is that press conference when they asked that man point blank, "Are you an anti-Semite?" And he did not answer that question and left it hanging out there that he could be an anti-Semite. That's what got him into the mess he's into now. Because it's not about the tweet. The tweet garbage was over with. When the firestorm went on and he paid the ADL what $500,000 and all that old other stuff. That was about the tweet. Everything that came afterwards about that press conference. When they asked Kyrie Irving point blank, and you could not misconstrue what was asked. It was plain and understandable. It was point blank. Are you an anti-Semite? And he left it hanging out there that he could be an anti-Semite. He did not answer that question. And people
What does that mean?
will take that as him being an anti-Semite or a racist. And that's what got him into the deep doo-doo.
What you think, Kat?
I thought you made some very valid points as to what if another culture or person said something that was offensive to African Americans. If we can think about the sports teams that are in this country, think about the Washington, formerly, the R-Skins, because I understand that saying that word is a racial slur. You think about the Blackhawks and all these different teams. For a long time, the owners of these teams refused to change their position. And I've had people on my podcast, First Nation people, Native people, whatever you want to call them, saying that was offensive to us. And the dominant culture said, we're not going to change. It was through continued pressure that they got them to change. So your point is well taken, that it doesn't matter if the people that are telling you that it's offensive is offensive, you have to listen to those people. And that's how all these sports teams, there's no more Cleveland Indians and all, that's why they all changed their names of their teams. So you have to take that same type of philosophy. I am more interested in Black people developing the economic and then the political will and pressure to force the same things of all these different that this Anti-Defamation League and all the Jewish people are doing. Right, we need to develop that same type of political power and pressure in order to force our will on people. That's what I think we should.
Now, that right there is where I was about to get to, because I don't like him and Kanye. They're in a position where they can't win in this position they're in, right? But my problem is when Black people help the execution, right? Like these people that they talk about that sign their checks, they can't do anything unless they help them. As Black people, got to help them. Like they gotta have Black people unsigned from his contracts and shit like that. They gotta have Black people get on Instagram and say they don't mess with Kanye anymore. They need that to help them take his money. You feel what I'm saying? Because without that help, they can't take his bread.
Now I agree with
That's
that.
the only thing I don't like is black people is contributing in this.
I agree with that because when Kanye opened his mouth and said that slavery was a choice, or slavery sounded like a choice to him.
That was foolish. Yeah.
When he said what he said about George Floyd and Black Lives Matter, no matter how you feel about it, it wasn't an uproar of black people
Canceling
him, or I ain't messing with Kanye. I'm gonna take my kids out of school.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna buy shoes. I ain't gonna.
It was none of that.
He ain't gonna represent me no more. It wasn't that until there was an uproar to what he said about Jewish people.
He didn't say anything.
And if
now
you agree, and if you
Kanye didn't say anything
that
either.
It was wrong. You can agree that it was wrong, and you can feel the way you want to feel about it. But why was it? Why do you want to cancel them now when somebody else says, when another culture, if you will, in another culture, okay, now we're gonna cancel them, blah 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 blah. When he said something about another culture, but when he said about your culture, you didn't say nothing. And when you had the platform, to stand up for the Jewish culture. Why you didn't have to use your same platform to stand up and call Kanye out when he said what he said to about black people?
Exactly. That's
my problem.
What do you think?
That's the problem I have with it.
You think Juice? Yeah,
Think about what? What you want me to address?
What he just said. I personally think, huh?
I wouldn't. I was just listening. I mean, you know, it's. I heard what both brothers said. You know, when you hear, you know, but like you said, what did he say? You know, I mean, we said DEFCON 3.
I listened to it a few times myself. It was hard to understand what happened.
DEFCON 3 is a state of readiness. It's a state of preparedness. It's not an assault or a blitzkrieg or an attack saying he's going to kill anyone.
Community that's going over our head. Like, it might be a dog whistle we don't know about. You know what I'm saying?
He's saying too much of what he should say, just like it was many other people said stuff.
I listened to it over and over.
People start talking about Illuminati and all that stuff. And you start seeing people.
I listened to it over and over.
He used Jews.
I didn't get what he said.
He's talking about the same people.
Like I was saying earlier, I'm not Jewish, so I wouldn't hear it.
Are we talking? Which one are we talking about? Kanye
when he went on the rant.
Go upstairs, buddy.
Yeah,
I didn't really hear him talk about. He was on Drink Champs.
Yeah,
you heard that, Cat?
It was like a 2-hour thing. I listened to the first half of it, first hour.
He went on a rant at the beginning, so you didn't really have to go for the 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, after a while, I was like, I can't take any more of this.
That's what I mean. Okay,
I am. You asked me, you know, be like, you said you're not Jewish, so it might went over your head. I do identify with Israel. You asked me what I am.
No, I said I'm not Jewish, Hebrew. So it's gonna go over my head.
I
don't know what happened. I don't know what said and what was going on. What was so bad? I listened to it over and over. That's what I said.
I feel like you. I don't think that he said anything. I would be offended. Again, what is an anti-Semite? Is this someone who is anti anyone over there from that area who's a descendant of Shem, which is Semitic? So that means
all this is new to me. Didn't I tell you the other day? Like the way the backlash him and Kyrie getting is new to me. I'm like, what the hell is going on here, bro? You know, it's too much. To be honest with you, Kyrie thing is too much. And I think the union got to step in on Kyrie and take care of some of this. This is over the top what they doing to him, me personally. But as far as Kanye, his mouth get him in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Where it's the point where nobody want to listen to him no more. You know what I'm saying? Even if he was making a good point, you lose it because he started off with a bonfire at the beginning. You're like, oh no, you on something different. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to hear the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy, bro. But I listened to the whole thing. Me personally, like I said, I'm not a Jew though, so I don't know what was said personally. I kept listening over and over. I don't know what was said. He brought up, if anything, he disrespected black people in that joint, but I didn't hear. Maybe because I can hear that, you know what I'm saying?
No, I just think.
Remember, he went on The George Floyd said George Floyd was
I just
faking and
feel
some shit
like-
like that.
I just think what Kanye did in the roundabout way, he used a whole bunch of stereotypes to basically blame Jews for all his problems.
I don't know. I be honest with you, I don't know. He right now he's still
That's basically what he did.
he running around now showing all the names of all the people that pay everybody checks and stuff. Like,
But see, it's crazy.
I'm not
because
getting it because you was in the camp with these people for years and years, bro. We ain't know where you been. You just pop back up and say, "Hey, I need your help, black people." They try and get me. Like what?
Dude, you was a billionaire. You make it.
They took some of his money though.
No. At the time, you was a billionaire.
Okay.
You was considered a billionaire. You making mad bucks off these shoes and all this stuff. If you were so concerned about the Jewish people having a monopoly on all of this, why didn't you invest your money? You and
P. Diddy, Master P,
a lot of people that got a lot of money. Why didn't
So-
y'all, even if you had to pool y'all money and y'all could
made it so it wouldn't be no other people signing people checks other than our culture.
right? You could have started your.
I blame
your
them
own
anyway,
thing.
so don't come back whining now.
So
I gave
Kanye
you all the money.
Kanye kind of just came on this new kind of wave of not
Yeah, he
wanting to
just
ride
was
the whole,
That's because something went wrong
Black
with
Lives
his
Matter with.
relationships.
Well, I would say something went good in his relationship with God because he's not ashamed now to say that he's a follower of Jesus Christ. And so, how can you be an anti-Semite when your main man is?
You mute yourself.
The whole thing.
Hold up, Cap. Go ahead, Cap.
How
Hold on. Go ahead.
how can he be? How can he be an anti-Semite when his main man is a Jewish Messiah from the Israeli nation? How can Kyrie be an anti-Semite when supposedly he's a Muslim? So he loves the culture of these Semite people. You're not an anti-Semite just because you don't like a small group of people who live in that region. Like if he's a Christian, he loves the nation of Israel because it
Have you
wasn't for
seen
the
that
nation of
documentary?
No.
Hebrews, the Negro.
Where is it at? Where is it at?
It's on Amazon at that.
Is it free on Amazon? I haven't looked. Is it free?
No, they charge.
It's not free. It's charging now. Yeah,
They charging and they raised the price on it.
yeah. So it's like
See,
How
this is
they
what I'm saying.
anti-Semites though?
Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead, Cap. It's like a documentary.
This is what I'm saying, man. So this is the political power, political will that I'm talking about. If we think about all the NFL players and NBA players, MLB players, all these different players who have come up, how many of them have actually set up schools, set up their own businesses, set up their own, taken over these some of these cities or the suburbs, built cities, built new Tulsas from back in the days, right? So now they're trying to do that. Now they want to talk about that. They have been given the opportunity to do that, and this is not new. People have talked about you need to set up your own, build your own banks, build your own car washes, build your own car wash, own the stuff, own the mines, own the fields where the stuff is grown,
own the record distributions.
So this stuff has been going on. They've had these conversations since the 60s. Little Richard fought over his contracts. Michael Jackson fought over his contract. Even white people, Willie Nelson, all these different people have all fought over their masters, owning their own stuff. Prince, right? All these people have talked about it. And so we've got to learn this political and economic power that they go together and learn how not to be in this position where people can take your money if you say something that they don't like.
And no matter how much money you got, obviously.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with understanding who we are and where we came from and how we can build up that political and economic power. That's what we have to do. And every community should do that. Do that.
Exactly.
In this economy that we have, they don't want to say stuff. They don't want to say it, and they'll never admit it. But the black dollar goes a long way to holding up this economy in this country. And
the only people that don't know that are black people.
Yeah, and the black dollar holds a lot of power. If black people would stop spending some money on some of the stuff they're spending on and boycott some of these countries, some of these companies, it ain't even about. It could affect change.
It's not even about boycotting. It's just the people in positions to make the change at the time don't do it. Like, for example, the hip hop industry. Who was the forefront of that? Everybody that's billionaires and millionaires now, but they didn't seal the industry for black people coming up. They just got their money and left.
That's their fault.
So they left it up to other cultures to make record distributions or Sony and all this stuff. Well, somebody, if you rapping, that's where you gotta go. You got no other choice.
The problem why
they dropped the ball. Right?
The problem why other people took over and making all the money off of hip hop is their own fault.
They dropped the ball.
If they had left that street shit in the streets, they would be where they should be, and they will be controlling. They will be controlling.
I don't think it's that. I don't even think it's that.
Maturation. It's a maturation process. I don't fault them for that, but we've had to make.
I don't know, Cap.
We've had to make.
We've had to almost a billionaire. Jay-Z is a billionaire.
Well, those I'm not talking about those people. Like, yes, I'm talking about the people. LL Cool J did a video about this. Talked about look at the old people from 84, 85, Kumo D and all these dudes, and there were some new rappers who were clowning the former rappers in 80s, saying, how come these people don't have what they have? LL Cool J had to go up there and say, these people had to kick the door in so you guys could be able to make these deals that you have today. And so it's LeBron. Why is LeBron James the first billionaire to be able to be playing while he's there? Look at what Michael Jordan did. So we've all had to build on and stand on the shoulders of different people's successes, their failures, understanding what they did right, what they did wrong, how they invested their money, how they signed contracts, and all that. So we've all had to learn. Everybody's had to have this learning curve. And some of them people, I agree with you, Rabbit, some of these people didn't learn. Some of these people just took the money and just said, F everybody else, screwed everybody over with deals and stuff. They became the new people, right?
Yeah, P. Diddy was a prime example of somebody that became those people.
No, Suge Knight, you had a person like Suge Knight, who I call the stupidest dude ever in hip hop. How did you have on your roster at the same time? You had Dr. Dre, who was the best producer at the time. You had Tupac, and you had Snoop, and you messed that up. And dude, you had Stroke, but you couldn't.
Not only that,
you couldn't leave that street mess in the street.
Not only that,
and get your mind right and run it the right way, dude.
Not only that, P. Diddy had a Biggie. So the East Coast was sold up with him. He was swallowing up all the money there.
Right.
Like they could have collaborated and made sure they have an avenue for black people to come through that's not other cultures. That's their fault. Other cultures ain't gonna sit back and let y'all make all that money and they don't get involved. They're gonna try to get some too. Well, but it's up to us to make it so we the only people that can get it. Like all of them could have collaborated and make their own Sony, so we don't have to sign with Electric Records and all these people. They could have made sure of that. Or made a school to show people how to fucking write rhymes, or be in front of the cameras and shit like that. They could have done that. They ain't do it.
When Puffy got fired from Uptown, he had.
Oh, so somebody had to read the contract.
Before he got home, he had like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people calling him to offer him a deal. Clive Davis gave him his own record deal, his own label, Bad Boy. But Puffy didn't. I mean, he made money, but he didn't branch off of that to take that label to the next level, which he could have, because after he didn't have Bad Boy, he didn't have another label. Money he making now, he making off of Ciroc.
That's true. But yeah, he got paid though when he was doing the Bad Boys, man.
That Bad Boy got paid, but when Bad Boy was no longer, when Arista or whatever, however it went down. He didn't branch off and okay, I had my own label. Now I'm moving, start my own company.
Yeah, all of them. I think all of them should collaborate and made sure they cornered the market like the other coaches have done.
Yeah.
OnlyFans Jay, what's up, player? I don't know if you was listening to the conversation. You muted though.
What's going on?
What's going on, player? Everything good?
Yeah.
You been listening to what's going on here?
Did some voting.
You voted today? That's what's up.
Yeah,
Definitely gotta get the voting in for sure.
Yeah. No.
But I don't know if y'all heard about my man that took over Twitter, fired everybody, right? now you know what I'm saying. He's letting it where you can say whatever you want on Twitter now. How you feel about that, Cap?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is exactly proving our point. Everything we just said for the last few minutes, right? You take everything over and then you run it the way that you want to run it. So I think once again, if we don't like what he's saying and like what's going on up there, I guess the N word was up there, 500% or something like that.
Flying that joint out. ASAP.
So listen, we gotta ignore, boycott, move on to something else, set up our own thing. I mean,
it is another black, but man, we can't.
That's what we got to do. I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do, and we have to set up and build our own. That's what we have to do.
I mean, he literally fired everybody and just let everybody fling out the nigga everywhere.
After he fired everybody, and the advertisers started leaving. Then he begging some of the people he fired to come back.
Yeah, well, the lawsuit's going to start. Somebody starts getting hurt. And it can tie it back to Twitter. He'll figure it out real quick. His lawyers will tell him real quick.
What, $44 billion for this motherfucker? He got the right to do what the fuck he wants. But you gotta realize once you got that many people, bro, you got a responsibility almost. I don't know. What you think, Juice?
I mean, I ain't on it. So when you talk about boycotting it and not supporting it,
you already on it.
I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? But I think, the African American people and most of the American people as a nation are addicted to it and don't have the discipline to stay off of it or to get off of it or do any of that. And so, until somebody
most of them really don't know what's going on, they just go on it. They don't know who owns it and none of that shit.
But that's their fault. Ignorance. There's no excuse for ignorance. In 2022,
what did I say earlier?
To certain people, ignorance is a bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no excuse for that though.
It's the same way I was talking earlier about politics with people and the candidates, and they don't research, they don't look up nothing, they don't check nothing out.
True.
And then when something goes sideways,
gas price is $7.
It's the same way. If you don't know who own the platform that you on, and that this person is allowing the N-word to fly, to fly free all over the place, and this, that, and the 30s letting all kinds of hate
those
speech
things
go,
bro.
Then,
I think also if it don't apply, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? Like people are gonna say all types of things and try the things that trigger you and all that. And again, for myself specifically, and for other people who are in America and don't have African descent, if that term is only used for descendants of African slaves, then it don't apply to you. Now, if that term is used for everyone who's just dark skinned in America, well, that don't even sound like that makes sense. So you're talking to me. You say,
mulatto. What does make sense?
They use mulatto for light skinned blacks.
What makes sense is ignoring them and letting them look stupid and exposing themselves for their ignorance. Because when you start arguing with a fool from a distance, you can't be a fool. And so when a white person or a light skin or Caucasian, European, whatever you want to call them, person try to turn up and try to gaslight you and try to call you this and call you that to get you to lose your job, to get you to end up in jail, to get you to cost yourself millions and billions of dollars, you're going to fall right into that trap. Because, you know what I'm saying? But then the next day later, Monday morning quarterback, you're like, man, it wasn't even worth it. I should have just ignored that, blah, 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 or whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
But on the other hand, though, you get a lot of misinformation where people don't know that's misinformation, bro. Like, people just go on their Facebook and the stuff come down, they bleed that stuff. They don't know that's not some news they don't supposed to be knowing. It's some nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's just like some shit they start relaying.
We all adults. We all adults.
Almost
and we
like
all
Kyrie
grown.
did.
So the last thing that they should be doing is trying to censor what people can put on there, because we're all adults, we're all grown, we all can see someone that's crazy, we all can filter out the fools on our own. I don't need the government, I don't need these billion-dollar industries to censor and tell me what I can see before I can see it and make my own decision on what's true or what's false. But that's what you see going on right now. I don't need y'all. I'm a grown man. I went to college. I read everything I get my hands on. I don't need you keeping that person off of this social website because you think he's reporting misinformation. That's what you think. Let me make that decision.
Yeah, but there's some people who can't tell the difference between that. That's why
Right.
So you keep all the people who in the blind and dark and
some people that believe that everything on the internet is true.
Yeah, this is where you get January 6th from.
This is and there's a lot of people out there like that believe that. Some people that believe that just because it's on the internet, it's true. Just because somebody said it on a record to a beat, that is true. And that's not the case all the time.
Or they tweeted somewhere, they see that tweet come
or
down.
just because someone got a doctor in front of their name that we supposed to listen to them. And then when someone who's also a doctor who made it comes out and says something that this other Dr. F didn't say, the person who made it gets silenced. The person who made I don't want to say it because I don't want to get you, whatever.
What? So I can know what you're talking about.
The creator of the jab came out and said, the one who made it.
What's the jab?
Come on, bro. We ain't got, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait.
The jab.
What's the
creator
jab? Hold on. Jay, you know what the jab is, bro?
C19, bro. C19, bro. C19. The jab.
The shot?
Yeah, the shot.
That's the jab?
So,
all right.
Yeah, that's the jab.
Oh, you talking about
the shot.
overshot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you start censoring people and you start forcing people to only hear one side of the news and one side of the report, you hear people saying, "Oh," but then the creator himself comes out who made it and said,
Fancy, whatever his name.
Don't give it to your kids.
Fauci.
Yeah, but the creator, Robert Morris, said, "Don't give it to your kids."
Let's be clear where we're going here. We're going into you talking about Dr. Fauci and the lies that you don't want to believe from that person.
No, we're talking about censoring and controlling what people can see so that they can't make their own decisions. And so they censored the creator of the vaccine, who was trying to warn people that such early in its development, don't give it to your kids. If you're young and healthy, don't take it. And if you're old and have any illness, this is the creator. The doctor himself said that they kicked him off of the internet. They kicked him off of the internet.
I want to make sure that everybody listening follows what's going on at all times, right? So, what you saying is explain what you're saying.
I'm saying that the people who were coming out speaking on it, whether it be the doctors who got fired, the professionals, they shouldn't have been silenced and kept from telling the truth or what they learned in their medical studies over years, especially if it agrees with the creator.
COVID-19,
what happened to them? They got kicked off the internet. No one could say anything bad about Dr. F. No one could say anything bad about the shot. But now we come to find out that some of that stuff was a little shaky, and so that's what happens.
What you think, Cap? Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm with you. I'm with you. What you saying, man? I get it. First, I ain't know.
Okay, I don't know anything about people being censored from the internet. I'm not.
He's talking about far as people that got a different opinion on.
Yeah, so I think
and stuff like that.
So I think that any information that has not been vetted, that cannot be proven to be true, should be kept off the internet, because there are susceptible people who will follow any direction and follow any type of leader, any type of direction. This is why people stormed the Capitol on January 6th a couple of years ago, because they were listening to bad information, misinformation, disinformation about stolen and fraudulent elections, and therefore they stormed the Capitol. So you have to, I know it's unpopular. I understand free speech. I understand that we ought to be able to say and research and read everything. I'm not into banning books and all that, but you have to censor out and be able to stop bad information, because people will act off of that bad information. So if everything is, if we can prove that this information is false, then I think it should be censored, because some people can't discern between truth and fiction. Some people don't read. Some people don't know how to take two bits of information and try to figure out which one is the truth. Some people just don't have that ability, and because they don't, we should not allow, in my estimation, my opinion, people to just run around with all kind of different opinions.
But then some good guys get cut off too. Some good guys get cut off too. By trying to get rid of the bad, you cut off the good, because the bad people are going to want to cut off the good. So if the bad people
that's what I'm talking about.
The good people,
they're going to want
information.
Good information, right? This stuff it should be vetted.
Good information has been getting censored. good information has been getting cut off because the people, so a lot of people in charge making decisions aren't good people, and we know that. So they're not going to attack the bad people who's helping them make more money and whatever that. They're going to attack the good people who are waking the people up to their lies and their deception. And so they say they're conspiracy theorists, or they say they're misinformationists, and then they're the final author and say so of which true or not.
Okay.
Rather than the people.
I like this. This is stuff I like. Is anybody watching right now? This podcast is here for the black culture. Is it a debate in the black culture? All the debates, for to be honest with you. And I like that debate to come out to the audience. You feel me? And this is, I know he has a point of view that most black people have. You feel me? Even though it's not my point of view. You know what I'm saying? So the audience, it's a lot of people that's listening to this probably like, yeah, I agree with main man saying. You feel me? But if you just let any information just flow, right? Now I understand what you're saying, like you're grown, you could take care, you know what's, you know what I'm saying? But if the person you think is giving good information and there's some false information in there, for example, at the beginning, we can't, all right, let me ask you first. Do you agree that it was an airborne sick illness? I mean, you believe COVID-19 even existed?
Yeah.
All right, so as long as we pass that hump. So first of all, if you agree that it existed, right? Mm-hmm. So you believe somebody telling the truth about something, right? Because you agreed that it existed, right? So if the person that told you that existed and you saw the results of that all over the world, why not from that point on believe the information that's coming from that person then on?
Because they're not the only people who's sharing information. They're not the only people in the world who are qualified to make these decisions. They're not the smartest people in the world. A lot of them are politicians, not even actual doctors. And so I don't have to believe what you say just because you put it out in the national research or whatever. True. Y'all the same people that say that certain foods is healthy when it's killing us.
True. So let me ask you this.
Same people
do you believe in
don't
scientists?
say nothing about people. Who?
You believe in scientists?
Do I believe the scientists?
Well, at first, in science itself.
Yeah. We get like we go back to
that. Okay, so you believe that it's some people that study science, like me and you on this podcast right now. Somebody studying some science stuff right now, right? We agree on that?
Yeah.
24/7.
A lot of you know what I'm saying? People just studying stuff right now as we speak.
But see, what happened was when this first thing broke out, you've seen and you can tell that a lot of people don't really get to think on their own in that field, because these are medical professionals who studied 20 years to be doctors, and they in a second lost their whole livelihood because they didn't want to be part of an experiment. So they don't have full control on what they do and what they believe just because they're scientists. There's someone telling them what they're supposed to study, what they're supposed to say, and how they're supposed to think, even if it doesn't even match their worldview or their belief. Doesn't matter.
I see what you're thinking. I see where you come from.
See, my thing is, and it goes back.
And I don't have to believe you at the end of the day.
Most people don't.
But hold on, we just agreed that you believe in science, though. It got to be a start.
So that mean I got to believe everything every scientist say? No.
Wait. If you believe in science, yeah.
No.
I mean, if you believe in science, who else gonna relay that?
I get confused in that too. So what I get confused in that too. So we've had jabs, right? we've had all these different vaccines for decades, right? Mumps, polio, all this stuff. So now, why is it different with COVID-19? I had the chicken pox as a kid. Now there's a vaccine for it. Now my kids never got it because they got the vaccine. What's different about this vaccine, COVID-19, versus all the other scientific breakthroughs? We believe in science. You believe the doctors. You've believed them for all these other things. Why is it different for this one?
Man, they've been talking about it for 2 years. All the technology that's in it, the fact that even short-term statistics is 6 years. We're not even halfway there yet. That's short-term statistics to be able to determine what needs to be taken or what needs to be adjusted in the vaccine. That's how new and that's how unverified it is. So that's why people are skeptical of it.
That's
Again,
one
that's
thing with the
Yeah, I think that's bad. I think that's bad information because
I was about to say it's leading information. I was just about
yeah,
to say
yeah,
that.
because and I had a doctor, and I'm not a doctor, but I had a doctor on my podcast. We talked about this, right? And she's a black doctor, and I wanted her to really break it down for black folks because we are so suspicious. So I'm going to try to do this from mostly from memory, but we can go on and just read about stuff and call her back, and I'm sure she'll be glad to talk about it. But they have been studying the coronavirus. Coronavirus, like every other virus, mutates. They've been studying coronavirus for decades. So they had a baseline to work with. So based on that, that's why they were able to build something for COVID-19 based on the foundation that they had for this other virus, right? I think even the common cold is a form of the coronavirus, if I'm remembering.
Yeah.
So they already had a baseline. So if you have a baseline, you can build off of that. And that's what they did with Corona-19. That's why they're able to make it so fast. Even listen, I was skeptical too. I'm like, how they get this? So I had to have a black female doctor, come on my podcast and talk about it, so we can understand that it wasn't just like they said they just went to a lab one day and okay, we got it 6 months later. No, they already had this baseline that they were working with, and so therefore that's how they were able to get it so quickly. They said 2 years. It took them 9 months or something like that. So.
And many of them, again, like I said, have to believe that, whether they really believe it or not. And I have relatives who are doctors, and I've been to the doctors a few times since, and I've had all these conversations. I've done the research. I read the scholarly journals. I watched all the podcasts. I read all of this and that. And I get what you're saying. But if my family and my belief system and my worldview says that no, then that should be the end of the conversation. Don't start calling me this and saying I'm a missing for this and I'm a threat to society. Like.
No,
this is my worldview.
What we're saying is the misinformation comes when somebody start you start off, we agree on science, right? We agree on scientists. It's when people take the information and give it their own spin, then relay it to people. You feel me? So therefore you'll get a spin on some scientist news, but you're not getting the direct scientists, their analysts of whatever happened, but you're just getting the nonsense that's filtered to you. You feel me?
No.
And then
everything
their agenda is
the problem
is
started.
It's biased.
When that cult leader
you're not getting the truth
kept coming out
CNN or ABC
and going against everything that Dr. Fauci and all of the other people, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, and all of them people was putting out. And they put out information and tell you what to do. They tell you, okay, wear a mask. He don't want to wear a mask, and he don't like wearing a mask. He don't think people should be made or told to wear a mask. So he went against everything that the experts, that the CDC experts, and all these other experts went against, and people that follow him believed him because he had the biggest megaphone in the country, in the world.
Yeah, you just had a misleading information coming out.
And then he say one thing, and then all of the people, especially in government that follow him, came behind him. It wasn't about the good of the people, because if the good of the people, well, you would say, until we get this thing under control, wear a mask. You don't want to, but we're trying to get this thing under control. But you had certain segments who went against everything that the people put out there and put out all this information, like you can inject bleach and all this other garbage.
Yeah.
And that's why.
And then you had a sector of the black culture that was giving misinformation to black people, forcing them not to want to take this shot. So it was just on both sides, really.
If there was no proof that it is actually successful, because we won't know that until the short-term results come out, which again is 6 years. Short-term.
Hold on. Wait.
That's a fact.
Again,
that's a fact.
We can't do that right there.
That's a fact.
Once it's something just a reality fact, like you can't tell me 2 years ago the way everybody was sick, that is the same thing that's going on now. You only see the same type of activity, right?
And I got the shot. and I ain't get sick.
So you can't do that to me, bro. Come on, everybody was sick. You knew that.
Like I said, yeah. People get sick every year around fall and winter.
Like that? Really? You being realistic now?
All I'm saying is
the way everybody's sick and dying.
Around the fall, it's flu season.
People say the white man. People say the white man
don't get the flu.
People say
wait.
People say I don't trust these people.
Wait.
And they're racist and they say they're white and this and all that, but yet we turn around and listen to everything that they say and tell us to do. We say all this stuff about the man and doing this within
Jay,
the culture.
you got something to say? Let me hold on, Jay.
And then we turn around and listen to them as if they're not the same people that we supposed to not be trusting. You know what I'm saying? These are the very same people that we supposed to not be trusting. But yet they telling you to go do this and go drink this and put this in your body, even though we're not quite sure what it's going to do in 6 years. Just do it. And if you don't do it, it's going to cost you your whole life. It's going to cost you your whole career.
They wouldn't start something from scratch. You know what I'm saying? 80% of that damn thing was already done.
The technology that's in that has never been placed in humans, and that's a fact. That's not a conspiracy theory, and we can look at it.
That's not true. That's not true. They've been working on these vaccines for decades.
They never put mRNA technology in a human.
I just tried to explain that they've been working on this stuff variants for years.
It was just like 10% they had to change up.
And then another thing is natural immunity all of a sudden was obsolete, right? That's one of the number one leading things when it comes to viruses. And all of a sudden when this came out, it don't work. But now 2 years later, after big old dude got it, is he going to get this? Well, no, he's already got it. Now it's natural immunity again. You feel what I'm saying? So they can say they trusted science, but then say that. And then they say they trusted science, but yet it's not two biological genders. They don't trust no science.
How do y'all feel? So how do y'all feel about people believing in Herschel Walker?
I was just about to get to that in a minute.
That motherfucker is tied up right now. He might win it.
See, this is the thing I don't like about politics. Like, I understand you might be a Republican or Democrat, but when it's somebody that's boo-boo foolish, there shouldn't be a
put out a fake badge.
They shouldn't even be. Come
on,
man. Hold up.
Our people just put one in office. Our people just put one in office that they knew wasn't qualified, and they knew probably shouldn't be doing this stuff. Can't even talk in public. They don't even want him answering questions at press conferences. He don't even know where he at half the time. And I hate to talk about him like that because I want to respect the leader.
Who? The president?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah. Everybody now sitting back like
I know
everybody back looking at him now sideways like, dang man, this dude, I don't know about, you know what I'm saying? Can't even again. But yet you just said if we see someone look like Boogie the Fool and they don't, look like they could do this and this and that, why would we put them there?
Okay, hold up. So now
look at gas prices. I mean, look at Afghanistan. I mean, where do we want to go? Look at sports. Look at women and girls sports. I mean, what topic do we want to go on that was successful?
Okay, hold on. Freeze. Wait a minute for a minute. Hold up. Before we get out of here. I like everything you're talking about right now. But when you start talking about, okay, explain to me right now. President Joe Biden, right? I want you to explain right now as a citizen of America. Tell me, what do you have? What's your issue with Joe Biden? The 2 years he been in.
Well, I mean, I would say my biggest issue as a Christian and a father of 3 boys is the attitude towards the male gender. And his strong support for believing that they can, at 8 years old, choose to be a girl and wear a dress. His support for, people who made that crossover to be in, New York schools and stuff, reading books to 1st and 2nd-year-old kids. I mean, we have video footage of it, so that's a fact. And so I would say that you said once, I would say that would be my biggest one, because I believe that is the beginning of the destruction of society. When men stop being men and stop acting like men.
Okay.
Because
so
it might be
one
too
good
tough.
Thing he did.
Because it might be too tough or for whatever it is, that's the destruction of society. Because
what's the
no
one good
one's
thing
going
he
to be
did?
there to defend the kids, and no one's going to be there to defend the women. You said
Right,
one
give me
thing
the-
that he's done good.
Yeah. Oh man went into a long thought process too.
I would
Really,
say
though?
I would say he allowed Jared Kushner, which is kind of suspicious because he's the son-in-law of Donald Trump. I would say one thing he did was allow him to continue to work on the Abraham Accords peace treaty with Israel and the other Muslim nations, because one would think that he would get rid of everyone from that former administration, especially the son-in-law. But there he is. But that's not suspicious. We don't raise our eyebrows or ask any questions about that, right?
I got you. Cap, what's your one thing you like about?
I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. I can't.
Okay,
There's nothing I can.
You don't have no good thing.
I can't tell you anything good that this man has done.
Give me the bad thing.
The bad things. I'm not a fan of how he's handling the economy. I'm not a fan of that. I think that there's more relief ought to come. I think that more, we've got millions and billions of dollars to ship over to Ukraine, and I'm not saying we shouldn't try to help them out. I think that's a problem, but I think that more effort has to be put into home domestic
Homeland.
programs in order to get us working, to get the inflation down, to correct that. I think a more assertive corrective action for the economy needs to be up front.
Jay, one good thing, one bad thing.
The only thing with me is what Law just said. Throwing money into another country further.
That's your bad thing or good thing?
That's the bad thing. I mean, the good thing he done, I mean, it's mutual. He on mutual grounds on that. But the economy, sending money to Ukraine, Tupac said it best. They got money for wars, but they can't feed the poor. And Brett Favre doing that, draining the system.
You said Brett Favre?
Yeah, draining the system, and nobody saying nothing about it. But that's where we at.
You bad? That was yours. Your bad, right? You good too? You ain't no good.
No, I'm saying my good with him is on neutral grounds. It's just he need to do that with the the crane thing. That wasn't us.
Tone?
Infrastructure bill, got that passed.
That's your good or bad?
Huh?
That's good or bad for you?
Good.
That's your good?
I'll give him that one. Yeah, I think that was a good one.
Wait.
Which one?
Wait. It was no good for you, Cat. What happened here?
No, I had to think about it. He's right about the infrastructure plan was good.
Infrastructure for you, Cat.
Yeah, I'll give him that one.
Go ahead. You're bad. You need a bad.
Bad. Let me see.
Oh, they gonna chop your head off.
He's in he loves this dude.
I gotta think of bad like that. Juice had to think of
When we go ahead, my good was the gun control bill that passed. That been trying to be passed for the last 30 years. It ain't what they actually wanted, but it passed. It was something. You know what I'm saying? So that's my good. My bad is I need to see more of the black lady. I don't see enough of the black lady. I need to see more of her. You know what I'm saying? That's my bad. Other than that,
who's the black lady? Who?
Oh, huh?
The vice president.
Watch your tongue, Cat. We talking about the black lady now.
She
come down and break these ties.
What she tell you she Indian or something?
Oh my
You ain't even tell you she black. She don't claim that. Don't try to put that on her.
Real
I
said the
got
same
the first
thing.
black lady in the office. He wants to do this to me, bro. What are you doing?
Man, what is black? That's
Real
not no.
said the same thing.
That's not no
Oh
nation.
my
There's no language.
God.
Where do those people come? Like that's
I
you know
need
what
to
I'm
see
saying.
more of the black lady. Don't do that to me. The first black lady to be vice president, you will see and talk salty. Come on, bro. Now, let's get into some of these bad shots here for a minute. Start my man right here. Now, transgender, right?
No, that's not the bad. That's not the bad. The bad.
That was your bad, though.
I said his bad was his attitude and his gender towards males and men. I felt like he's making men weak. He's supporting men being weak and not strong. And when men are weak, society crumbles. And when men are strong, society flourishes. Don't tell my 8-year-old
Okay, hold on.
he can be a girl.
Hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, now you just said it again.
Go ahead, John.
If you feel that way, that you think that the president is pushing that, how do you feel about the way Hollywood is pushing that?
I feel the same. I feel the exact same way. I feel like it's worse in Hollywood.
Wait. All right. So when you said that, you wasn't thinking about transgender.
No, that's not primarily. That's not primarily.
All right.
That's not that. Yeah, no.
So you saying him personally is devaluate the man, the what?
The male.
Say it again.
The male to feminize essentially and to make men weak.
All right. Now I need you in 30 seconds. Let me know where you get that thought process from. That thought process. What is that? Where'd that come from?
Just start with the laws that are, put into
Give
place.
me he actually law.
The marriage laws. I mean, again, in my family, in my belief system, not religion, we don't agree with that. And so,
did Obama do that? I don't think Biden.
Yeah, he actually lit the White House with the rainbow colors. Yeah, his second term was built around that. But
yeah, Obama did that. Yeah,
his second term was built.
You just putting that on Biden too, right? That he did that.
Well, yeah, wasn't he the vice president?
I'm talking about right now. He the president though, right? So
yeah,
the last
so he's the vice president. He supported it then.
I wanted your badge. You gave me something that
because he said
Obama did.
He said out of his mouth that an 8-year-old boy can choose his gender. That's what the president said out of his mouth.
That's allegedly, yeah.
How's allegedly? We got video footage. We keep giving this man a pass who, role model was a grandmaster for the KKK, General Byrd. I guess that's alleged too, right? He's not a real person. We keep giving him passes for this stuff.
That's only how I like when you throw stuff out there, but don't got to stop right there so I can attack it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Robert Byrd. Everybody know about Robert Byrd.
Yeah, you're getting a pass though. I ain't getting a pass. He said that 8 years. I got an 8-year-old son. I don't want the leader of this nation that I live in, whether I directly apply to it or consider myself the great strong American. No, I don't want the leader of my person saying that, because what does that say about
Man, that's a legend now. I never heard that.
So. No, that's not a legend.
I can agree with that. If that's the case, I agree with that.
I never heard him say that.
But what about all the shit we know Trump didn't say?
No, wait. I never heard him say an 8-year-old and none of that stuff. So I never heard that. So that's allegedly so far. Right?
So let's just say he did say that. That's
so he haven't passed an actual bill for your concerns yet. Right or wrong?
No. Well, other than the one that he did on
rhetoric, right?
On day one of election. But on day one of election. On day one of election. On day one of election of his day in office, with all the things that America's struggling with, the homeless and all that stuff, the first thing that he decided to do was make sure that men could go and beat women in women's sports. Day one. You know how you do the 100 days in office? The top thing on his list, the priority of things to do was that. I think we got a lot more, serious things to worry about in this country than men being able to go into women's sports and beat them up on a wrestling field. On a wrestling field. I think we got some serious things going on in this country. But that's that important that you do that immediately. Press conference, everything.
But overall,
as in the pipeline that everyone tries to say wasn't providing oil, it wasn't doing this and wasn't doing that. No, it was. And the moment that it got shut down, gas prices started to rise. They say, oh, it was Ukraine. No, he shut down a pipeline that was giving our own country oil. We didn't have to depend on our enemies over across the seas. We had it here. Now we're at their mercy, and that's why gas is what it is. Because he undid what was done with the previous dude. And again, he has.
Hold on, let's go on Cap. What's that? What you about to give me?
Biden, I'm looking at this, and this one, Associated Press, AP News.
Mm-hmm.
Biden did not say transgender children should be able to transition. Claim Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden said if your 8-year-old wants to be transgender to make life easier, they have the right to transition. Therefore, and there is no reason for you to not. False. Social media users are altering comments made by Biden during the October 15th town hall to falsely suggest that he supports sex change in medical procedures for young children. Biden said transgender children should not experience discrimination, but he did say they have a right to transition. Social media users are distorting Biden's response to a question about a transgender child. Town hall to imply he supports sex change in medical procedures for children.
Let me ask you this, Juice. Do you think any human being should be discriminated against?
No.
So that would include anybody that transgender or do anything, right?
No, you shouldn't treat anyone
Exactly.
a certain kind of way, but you shouldn't force your lifestyle on someone else either. You should love everyone. I have family members who made the transition and love them just like everyone else. But I'm not going to say that I support that or accept that. I'm not going to tell my sons that it's okay because I don't believe that.
But you should support the freedom to make that choice is where I'm at, right?
Yeah, I do support the freedom to make that choice.
All right, so we're on the same page.
Well, that's
I
what
said it the whole time. Yeah, just like I support.
That's the same thing I feel
Just
about
like-
abortion.
Hold on.
Just like I support.
You want to get in? What's going on? What you got on your mind?
Concerning the transgender, I agree that people ought to be able to make the decisions that they want to make, what's best for them. So
They're grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, your second Cap issue was the economy. Cap, I need you to explain to me what's wrong with the economy, bro.
what's wrong with the economy?
Yeah, talk to me.
I mean, inflation is through the roof. I mean, right?
You said what?
Inflation is through the roof. In gas prices to buy food.
When you say inflation,
That's Trump fault too.
I make no distinction between these political parties, right? So one person.
Y'all do make a decision, man. I'm gonna make that clear.
I don't. I
lean.
I lean. Thank you for saying that. Okay.
Because I think that one person.
It's a lean.
Listen,
lean.
there's the I don't understand all about economics, but I notice there's the Fed. Different people make different interest rates. The gas prices are gas prices in oil production certainly drive gas prices. All of this is connected, and it's far beyond one person, whoever's sitting in the White House. Right? So there's I hate to sound conspiratorial, but it's all one big melting pot of a bunch of billionaires somewhere sitting around making up how they're going to inflate prices, drive Wall Street, and all these different types of things. So I make no distinction of who's sitting in the White House, but I do think that the president should do something more to stop it. I think that I just was reading up on what we're talking about. Tried to pass an inflation bill which addressed Medicare and things like that. But there's got to be some things they can do as far as the interest rates. There's got to be other things that we can do, price gouging, other things that we can do, more domestic production. So therefore, we won't have to depend on other countries for not only oil but food production and other things along those lines. So there's got to be some other things that we can do.
Let me say something.
When you
about
say
that.
inflation and all that, right? We get that, cool. But unemployment is where 3%, right? Do we agree on that?
It's low, yeah. It's more. Yeah,
we
it's
agree
low.
on that,
Right
Jay?
now.
Unemployment is 3%.
Yeah,
Jay?
inflation comes from when the pandemic happened.
Exactly.
and they want to
I was
make
gonna
up
get
for
to that in a
lost
minute.
wages.
Like everybody forgetting in 2019, which was 2.5 years ago, everything was shut down. So you're expecting to
Well, I knew they were going to want their money back. That was no secret. They want their money back.
They want
I
their
was
money
saying
back.
as soon as everything shut down, all this money they missing out, we're going to pay for it later, sooner or later. So here's the later.
But man,
And
what I'm
the
saying,
checks due
everything
now.
shut down. You got to know within a year and a half after that, everybody should be fucked up for real, getting out of a hole. Everybody, right?
But I will tell you the
Why would
difference
you 2 years
between.
later say
I would tell you
gas
the
prices
difference
up? That
though.
don't make sense, huh?
I would tell you the difference though. Like when two different eras, you got the Biden era and Trump era. Trump era had me paying more taxes than I usually do. As a blue collar worker, you
Mm-hmm.
know, car worker, 9 to 5, original 9 to 5 guy, had me paying more taxes than I was supposed to versus now, which the inflation comes in because the tax bracket went back to the corporation side. Like it's more as far as them paying more than what I'm doing. Uh, but then that's when the inflation rises
But like Cap
as
said,
well because they
none of
need
us
their money. They
really,
want their money back.
none of us really know the economy, right? But I know the difference between when Reagan was president, which I was alive, and now, right? I know the feeling. It's a different feeling. Do we agree, Cap?
Oh yeah.
All right. So we know it's a difference now in how the living is for black culture and people in general. Because in the Reagan era, it just wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? So I know a difference in the way of life, right? We agree on that, Cap?
I agree with that.
So therefore, when we get to a point where it's like 98% unemployment, you know what I'm saying? And that means everybody's working, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like 2% unemployment is like, who is that people now? It's like,
Well,
really?
working and bringing home decent wages where you can actually pay bills. I mean, there's still record people who are still being evicted, right?
Oh,
And
that's cool, but that comes down to, again, is nobody gonna help you do that, right? Not the
no, well,
Republicans, right?
why are rents going up so much?
Well,
Why we got
Republicans will help you do that. If Republican ran everything, they was president and all the Congress, everything right now, do you think in your heart of heart they gonna help you do that?
Oh no, I don't think that.
Exactly.
No,
That's
I
my
don't think
point
that.
here, right?
But it's,
But you can't tell me your heart and heart that Democrats won't do it.
Well, but
Answer that question, Cat.
no, listen, I'm not going to duck no questions. I'm not going to duck any questions. I agree with you, but I think that there has to be some type of limit. And I don't understand economics. I really don't. I remember when I
I
was in
agree with that.
school. When I was in school, I remember them talking about some ancient civilization. I think it was might have been the Byzantine Roman Empire when they were, and somehow inflation had taken over. I just couldn't understand how it just took over and just collapsed an entire government. I just don't understand that. It's beyond me. So I can't really comment on that. I just know that it's a problem. I think that there's certain that things need to be done. If the rents are being driven up, and one thing certainly springs off and feeds into another. It's a domino effect. If gas prices go up, it costs more to heat your house, and if you live in a place where that you're getting heat and hot water with your rent, then the landlord's got to raise the rent. And it doesn't matter if you're working. If you were paying $1,000 for rent before, now you want you to pay $1,400 a month to pay for this rent. You don't have the money, and if you're not getting the raise in your job, right? So all this type of stuff, somewhere along the line, we have to say, okay, how do we stop the probably the gas prices, the oil prices from going up? How do we stop that? So therefore, the rest of the dominoes don't fall. So that's where I think that the government really has to step in and say, and if to Juice's point, if we're not producing enough productivity from our own resources, then that's going to drive up the gas prices. So let's open up other things, or let's look into alternative sources. So we have to be able to figure out why gas prices are going up, right? Or whatever is causing it. Whatever the foundation is, let's figure that out. Get these smart people, sit them in a room, and let's figure it out, and let's knock this off. Because it's crazy. Veterans are homeless. People are working 2 and 3 jobs, driving Ubers. Come on, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah. So anybody
Crazy.
listening right now don't know what inflation is. That's a general increase in the prices of goods and services in the economy.
Yeah, and that doesn't. People just think that just naturally happens. Oh yeah, every year everything just goes up 1%. No, it goes up because somebody wants to get paid more.
You know,
it goes up. That's why it goes up. It's not some natural phenomenon like trees growing out in your backyard. The tree's going to grow. No, it's an unnatural phenomenon where somebody wants more. That's where it comes from. We got to pay a union worker more. Okay, we got to raise the price. We want to pay. You got to pay the restaurant cashier more. Everybody just wants more, and that's why it goes up.
Now, I appreciate both of y'all coming past, man. I hope everybody went out and vote today. You know what I'm saying, dog? Appreciate you, Juice, for sliding in the joint. You can come in this joint anytime you want, bro. You know what I'm saying, dog? Especially you, Cap. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're a regular for show.
Oh,
everybody
for
look
sure.
for Cap and shit. Cap right there on this joint. I appreciate the whole lot for stopping past this joint, man. Anytime y'all want to come past this joint, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me, slide past this joint. This is all political debate on this joint. We only made this podcast just for the black culture to get out there and debate. I like the audience to listen to black debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know every black people out there agree with each different person. You know what I'm saying? Talking on here, you know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to get out their thought process first and then have a debate on the issues itself. You know what I'm saying? With the audience actually getting an understanding of who believe in what and how they believe that. You know what I'm saying? I just like that dialogue for black culture. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate both of y'all. Appreciate both of y'all for coming in and joining. Juice, you got something to say before we get out of here?
No, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. And you know, this was good talk. You know what I mean? I learned a lot, you know, wise brothers, and appreciate y'all. You know, you definitely gotta keep this going. This is what the people need for sure. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You gotta learn as much as you can. You know, and continue to improve and self-correct as much as possible. You know, when you know better, you do better, and we should do better. So, this is good stuff right here.
Appreciate you, Cap. You got something to say? We get out of here.
I appreciate you having me on. I'll definitely join in more, and I think this is good what you're doing. We need to talk about it more and become involved more. So
that's what's up.
Big ups.
Appreciate you.
Right on.
Jay, you good? Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you, Jay, for stopping players and joining you. You know, Tony, you got something to say, bro? To close this thing up.
Well, you know, I really, you know, for those y'all that voted today, I'm really glad y'all did. You know,
that's for damn
sure.
Y'all
got it. Look, we as a people, we as a community, we need to participate in the political process, because
that's for sure.
Because the more we vote, you know, the bigger our voting block gets.
And that's another thing.
That's how you get things done.
We don't even tell you who to vote for in this joint, right?
Right.
Well, I just like to have a debate where the black person can sit there and make their own decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I like.
I'm a Democrat, but I'm gonna tell you to vote because you know that ain't because I don't know everybody's situation and I don't know how everybody
exactly
feels.
Yeah.
You know, I can only get on here and tell you how I feel and give you information as I see it. You know what I'm saying? But it's still on y'all to do the research, to go out and check. You know, you might want to come back on here one day and come through that open door and call me a lying motherfucker.
You know? That's for sure. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to this joint, man. We on Facebook group. Follow us on Facebook group.
Follow us on Facebook. Check out the YouTube page and subscribe. We need to get our subscribers up, y'all.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Tell your friends about us. You know, tell your peoples about us. Tune in each and every Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, man.
We're going to have to come back on.
And we peek in every. You never know when we jump back in.
We're going to come back on later on this week because, you know, a lot of these results ain't in yet. So we might have to come in.
That's true. Everything is in balance. So everybody be voting for certain things.
Right. Because there's some shit happening in Georgia that I ain't with.
It's going to come down to Herschel Walker. We got to tackle him. He cannot score. I gave him one touchdowns, not Herschel.
Right on.
Herschel might fuck this whole thing up where the black lady can't even do nothing no more.
Democrats doing good tonight, too.
Good. That's a good thing.
They're doing good.
You gotta remember.
You gotta remember.
So Republicans always fake like they won before the shit open. You know
right.
So Everybody wait for that. You know what I'm saying, dog? But until then, this is Hoodview Politics. Rad B.I.D. Jones.
Tony D, number one soul, bro.
This is Hoodview Politics.
Right on.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers. None of that shit that's on TV. You know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood view.